You're tuned in to a Grown Folks production. In the mix with the commish, Nate.
This is what happens when you move things around and you forget exactly where you move them to. That's the button right here. I probably was talking, you couldn't even hear me. This is what happens when you move things around on your Stream Deck and you forget exactly where you put things. My bad. We're here. Happy Easter. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Wanted to do a very quick all 22 podcast. It's something that we've talked about for quite some time, and I just have not had time to do one. I got a quick minute, so I want to go ahead, I want to jump into it, and let's do this real quick. These are a couple of the FPR issues that we're seeing here in the OMFL. FPR stands for Fair Play Rules. These things are in place just to make things fair, even, parity. It's exactly what the NFL tries to do with all of its rules, with all of its standards, is to have complete parity in the league so that every single team thinks that they have an opportunity to win it every single season. And that's what we aim for here in the OMFL. It is a video game. It has its flaws, its gimmicks, its issues. It can be figured out about the best way to set yourself up for success, or the easiest road to success. If not, just go watch any of the Madden challenge shows that come on ESPN, any of their streams on Twitch, or just type into YouTube and you'll find more channels than you can shake a stick at that'll show you all of the exact details that you can use to just make Madden easier to play. Gimmicks and moving players here and trying this and changing that, and just all kinds of things to make it easier when playing somebody. And well, in the OMFL, we try to take all of those things out. We try to use sliders that make it nice and fair and even. We have a rule set that make things nice and fair and even, or kind of the common language out there in the Madden world is to make it sim, even though we don't intentionally use that language, but that's a whole completely different conversation. A couple of the things that we're still seeing here in Madden 23, seeing a lot of 8 in the box. That one's going to be easy to kind of come against. So let me flip sides here. I think we got to run a random play first. Let me just run a random play. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Nice throw. Nice breakup too. All right, I think it's going to switch sides here now. Going to play a little defense. I'm going to show you all the different ways that you can approach this. Here in the 3-4, this would be 8 in the box. This means you have one safety high. That's basically all that 8 in the box means, is that you've got one guy that's higher than everybody else. There's a few little tweaks in that. Maybe that doesn't fit for every single formation. There are a couple where the free or strong safety are moved up slightly a little bit. That doesn't count for 8 in the box. 8 in the box is literally in your linebacker box in that kind of 5 yards from defensive end to defensive end and 5 yards back where your middle linebackers are, that a safety is down in that little linebacker box. So 3-4 bear would be having 8 in the box. Any of the other formations where 3-4 odd storm, right? That's going to put the other strong safety down in the box as he covers up the tight end or the running back. The saw blitz, the cover one. A lot of cover ones and cover threes are going to stick that 8th man in the box here. Let me see if we just do a random play. See, this 8th man is down in the box. I'm not even playing. I'm just kind of letting the thing play out on its own. But that 8th man is down in the box. The reason that is an issue here in the OMFL is because it's set up to stop the run. The problem is our fair play rules on offense make you mix it up. And so if I have 8 in the box constantly, I completely take away the run. I can play zone with 8 in the box. I can play man with the 8 in the box. I can do all kinds of crazy stuff and take away your run immediately and force you to become a one-dimensional team or you just got to run against 8 in the box. It just doesn't make for mixing it up on offense, doesn't make for mixing it up on defense, and it just doesn't make for an enjoyable experience for an hour and a half of your life. And so 8 in the box can be used, but it needs to be used sparingly, and it needs to be less than a third of your calls. Less than 33% of your calls need to be 8 in the box. Anytime that you start to see things over and over, see if I can flip sides again here. Anytime you see things over and over, whether you're on offense or defense, you should question, am I mixing this up the way that I should? First thing, 8 in the box, easy. Just get them out. You can manually select that guy. If you're playing a lot of cover 1 or cover 3, manually select that player, get them out of there, and then you can move back to where you were. Or you can auto adjust where it'll manually or automatically move everybody back. That's one of the pre-place suggestions. Or you just got to mix it up. Can't call as much cover 3 and cover 1. And that is the biggest issue in the OMFL. A lot of cover 3, a lot of cover 1. Those are the main go-tos in man and zone, because it puts the 8th man in the box. It allows you to take away the run, or at least have more players attempting to take away the run. And if you play the cover 3 zone, then you're ready to be in a zone. So even if they don't run it, you have enough players kind of in that short to medium route zone area to kind of take away some of those easy passes, allow the pressure to get there. So this is why in the OMFL we're seeing in Madden 23 a lot of players not mixing it up with the cover 1 and cover 3. The other thing is just not mixing it up enough. You shouldn't be calling anything 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row. 2 is kind of max, and then you need to leave it alone for a bit. And then if you come back and call something back to back, it needs to be much later in the game. We're seeing guys call blitz 3 times in a row, zone 3 times in a row, 8 in the box 3, 4, 5 times in a row. That is a major thing in the NFC. I'm seeing 8 in the box, 4 times in a row, 1 play off, 3 times in a row, 2 plays off, 5 times in a row. It's just way too much 8 man in the box, because again, you're either calling too much blitz, too much cover 1, too much cover 3, or a combination of all 3 of those things back to back to back to back to back. And that 8th man is living in the box. We're also seeing just a lot of the same type of routes being ran 3, 4, 5 times in a row. A lot of the same play calls 3, 4 times in a row. Played an owner the other day. There was a pistol formation, pistol full. Tight end is in the backfield on the left, fullback on the right, running back all the way back, and the tight end was just running a little flare out. He would snap the ball 1 step, pop it to the tight end. Even if you were in man or zone, the linebacker isn't getting over there to cover enough. Easy 5, 6, 8 yards every time. I've seen that play 4 to 5 times a game. That's just too many times. We try to have play limits, but you can find those styles of plays in different formations. Running the same play, even out of different formations, multiple times back to back, or 4, 5, 6 times a game is just way too many. Defense, you're a little bit more limited. You're going to have to run cover 2 in the variety of different formations. It is what it is, but you should still try to avoid on offense the exact same play, just out of different formations, and on defense calling the same zone, man, or blitz 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a row. The other issues are closed, bunched, close, loaded formations. I don't have a lot of them. I purposely take them out because they should not be a big part of your offensive game plan. We have multiple FPR rules in place to get you to mix that up. We're seeing a ton of it just all game long from some teams. We're seeing a ton of it on 3rd down. Anytime you need a big play, you need a score, we need to pick up a 3rd down, we see guys going to the specific type of play. Before I show you some of the bunch and closed formations, going back to running the same style of play over and over. Played another team several weeks ago. Every third down, going to the tight end in some form or fashion. If you know I'm going to this one player, this one play, this one technique, every big 3rd down, every time I need to score, then you're not mixing it up. You're not being strategic. You're kind of holding on to something that you can play at a time when you need to play it. So here's everything that is, we're just going to call it bunch close formations, but it's any of the formations where your receivers are not in their normal position. Let me just make sure I am in the right spot here. So This is what we would call a normal position. The two receivers are out wide, tight ends are in their normal positions. This would be close, duh, it says close, but those two receivers have moved inside. Loaded, these are two receivers to the right or to the left. Close flex, so not only are they close to each other, but they're also loaded. These are all falling in those situations where you should not use a lot of these plays. Those three formations right there, I call 2, maybe 3 plays a game out of those formations. Why off? Totally cool formations. 2 receivers in their normal position. Tight end is sit back, but in a fairly normal position. Close, that one counts. This right receiver, the wide receiver, is in close here. Pro, normal formation. This would be a normal formation. 2 receivers out wide in the normal formation. There's an extra tight end, but you can run 2 tight ends in the OMFL as a base formation. Deuce flex. This one is like right kind of on the borderline, but I would call it normal formation, but it's considered a 2 tight end formation. I kind of use this as a way to trick or throw my defensive game plan off, because you can run 2 tight ends. It just flares out that other tight end in a normal third wide receiver position. The other 2 receivers are out wide. This could count as a normal formation. I know some would argue, I would admit it's kind of close to the line, but I think it's totally fair because it is a tight end. It's not a receiver out here running. Deuce, totally cool. 2 tight ends, yes, they're stepped back, but they're in their normal position. 2 receivers out wide. Wide trips, this is a loaded formation, right? We got 3 receivers out to the right. Ace, normal formation, you can run these a lot. Wide trips, 3 receivers, not close bunch, close. Doesn't count in that percentage. Counts in a normal 3 receiver position. Same with dice slot. I'm only going through my playbook here, but you get the point. This would be close bunch formations. This is where we got to keep it under a specific percentage, which I need to go look up, but I think it's 30%. Don't quote me on that. Whatever the FPR says, that's exactly what it is. I don't even come close to it, so I don't need to memorize it. Ace pair, normal formation, as we already talked about. Pro, normal, right? This is a weak pro formation. 2 receivers where they're supposed to be. Z close, this would count in that percentage. That guy moved in. I'm oversimplifying it here. I keep going back over and over and kind of repeating myself, but anywhere where your 2 receivers are not in a normal position, 1 is moved in close, 2 are moved in close, or both on one side, or even bunched up together, where you got 1 on the left who's normal, but your other ones are bunched up really close together. All of those would fall under those types of close bunch formations that are limited here. The main reason is because Madden does not cover these guys normal. I'm just going to do a random formation. You can see right here, this is a perfect example. I have no clue what's even being called on the other side, right? But 12 and 13, my 2 receivers are in close. Both of these guys, 12 is going to be running a drag route. At the snap of this ball, he's going to have a 6-yard head start. And even if I can't, because I'm not playing with 2 controllers. Even if you told them to man a line and bump coverage, which is what a lot of us do when we're facing a lot of close bunch formations, he's still 3 yards off of the receiver. And so he still gets a head start. And he's gone. He's going to be open a lot of the times. Sometimes you'll have a super fast cornerback, a super good cornerback that can catch up. They're never aligned properly. My assumption is it's an animation situation. They can't have that many animations up close. It would just mess everything up. Whatever the reason is, these are not normal humans. The AI isn't going, oh, they're playing bunch close, even though we were called in man. If 1 swings underneath, you take him on that side. If the other one swings over the top, I'll take him on this side. They're just going to run their assignments. And so anytime you run these, it's going to mix a bunch of players up. You're going to see maybe some of these linebackers picking off a cornerback, or vice versa, leaving a tight end wide open, leaving a receiver wide open. And so we just leave the gimmick alone. Just stay away from it. And this is why we have limitations on how many times you're supposed to be running these styles of plays. I don't know why, but my mic is totally far off from where it should be. We can get it situated here real quick. So again, it just leaves people wide open. It becomes gimmicky. It just becomes something that we don't want to see a lot of. I could go play by play by play by play. I'm trying not to bore people and beat this to death. This is not in the closed bunch. These are receivers in their normal position. It would fall under the 3 or 4 receiver one. This is a normal formation that you can play. Receivers in their normal position, tight ends in the normal position. He's just playing a pistol. This is a normal base formation that you can run here. Receivers are where they're supposed to be. All that fun stuff. Hey, Maniac, good to see you, my buddy. This would fall under the 3 receiver plus the close bunch. So it kind of falls under both of those because that other receiver bunches up close. Let's see. This is a popular go-to play that you'll see a lot, right? Again, not lined up properly. I've got a 3-yard head start over here. These guys are all going to bunch as we kind of run like a slant drag. It's not neither a slant or a drag, but you're going to see this play is used a lot because it just bunches people up, picks everybody off, gives you a lot of time to find a wide open guy. Doesn't mean you can't run that play. Doesn't mean you can't use that play. We just shouldn't see that play 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. Should not see these formations 2 times in a row, 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row. Shouldn't see these formations every third down, every third long, every time I need to score. That's when we're just abusing this system. I mean, look how far Olave has on this, and even if you closed him up, he would still get open because he doesn't line directly over the top of them. I'm not running 2 controllers, so you're not going to see it. But even in a man defense, they still don't kind of line up directly over the top of them. So 8 in the box, calling way too many plays back to back to back to back, and then the close bunch formations. Even if you looked at the shotgun, it's super easy to understand. I don't think I have many. I think I maybe 1 or 2. This would be a normal formation, falls under the 3 or 4 receiver formation rule. This would be a close. Outside receiver moves in. Even that slot receiver has moved in. This is a normal one. Those 2 guys go right back where they're supposed to be. This is a loaded formation. Or these are not loaded formations because there's a receiver out. But I think I have another one here. This one would be a unique one because 8 technically is in a close bunch formation one. I run this play like twice a game, maybe once a game, if at all. So we don't see a lot of issues from shotgun, but that would be probably a formation you don't want to overuse if you're using the box. Normal shotgun formation, normal shotgun formation, normal shotgun formation. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's a normal one. Normal shotgun formation. And then this one would fall into the close bunch. So the last thing that we'll cover, and then I'll get everybody out of here. Less than 30 minutes here. Quick in and out. I know I've repeated myself a ton, but it feels like we continue to have the same conversations over and over and over and over again. And that's just about adjustments. And so it's just making too many adjustments on offense or defense. I don't think I'm going to be able to make a ton, but it's like I'm going to, max protect. I'm going to, send my tight end on a drag route. And now I'm going to hike it because I've used both of my adjustments. We're seeing a lot of quarterback barking is like an old term that people used to use a lot, but it's when you come to the line of scrimmage and you can hear the quarterback already like making this change, making that change, making this adjustment, that adjustment. On offense or defense, you want to avoid doing those things every play. The goal here is to run the plays as you call them, to be strategic in how you build your team, strategic in how you build your playbook, strategic in how you call your game, and run the plays not only how you called them, but also where you call them. And so, if I'm running, I don't have one called here. Let's see if I can make it. I don't even think I have one. What's up, Knives Out? Good to see you, my buddy. I don't even have a run out of my shotgun here. But say I've got a shotgun draw that's supposed to just go right up between the guard and the center. Taking that and immediately the handoff, bouncing it outside. That's just not what we want to see in the OMFL. Run the play where it's designed. Doesn't mean you don't have flexibility. You can't bounce 1 or 2 plays a game out. Doesn't mean that you can't make any adjustments, or you come to the line, they got 8 in the box, you got a run call, so you want to pivot to a pass or a play action. Like, you can do those things. You just should not be doing those things 40, 50, 60% of the game. We need to, or even like third down is the other like pivotal point, right? Guys are like, well, I mix it up all game, and your final numbers look good, but it was every third down you made 2 adjustments. Every third down you threw it to the tight end. Every third down you ran zone. That's why we have to implement all these rules, because guys aren't mixing it up just good enough. And so I think, again, to go back to what the FPR issues that we're seeing in Madden 23, 8 in the box, too many adjustments, way too many close bunch formations. And the guy's like, I didn't even know what that is. Like, it's not complicated. 2 receivers, normal position, tight end, normal position, tight ends in their normal position. Those plays, totally cool, totally legit. Those guys start moving around and being out of order to where your cornerbacks are not able to guard over the top of them. Those are formations that should be limited under the percentage that we've asked. And I wish we didn't have any rules. I wish we could all just plug in the game and just play and do whatever we want. This game is like every other game. It's gimmicky. It has issues and flaws, and every freaking YouTube guru out there on Madden guru out there on YouTube is making videos to show you what formations, what adjustments, what plays to call. It's just boring. Like, if you've ever watched a Madden challenge, that stuff on Twitch and ESPN, I can't watch 3 seconds of those games. They're so boring and non-strategic. I think it was just a couple Maddens ago, we watched the guy win the championship with a fullback at running back. Just like, it's gimmicky. It's a flawed game. We make the best out of it that we can. And in the OMFL, these are the expectations. Ask questions if you don't know. Ask questions if you're unsure. But again, it goes back to keeping things fair, even, and allowing parity, because the style of game that we're hoping to see in the OMFL are games that are strategic, that you have to outcoach, outcall. We award the guy who's really good at the sticks. That ain't my old butt, but the guys who are really good at the sticks, and for guys who are really good GMs. If you're a really good GM and a really good play caller, but you're not great at the sticks, you can still win in this league. Now, if you're all of those things, if you're a great GM, D-Moneys of the world, D-Waynes of the world, you're a great GM, you're really good at the sticks, you're a really good play caller, then you're going to win more often than you don't here. But there is true parity that anyone can be really good at a couple of those and just average in other areas and still win in the OMFL. All right, I'm getting out of here, especially for the wife comes busting in the studio and yells at me for being in Madden. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'll blast this out to the league. I didn't kind of promote it or push it out there because I was like, I'm just going to quickly do this in the middle of a Friday afternoon. I'm hoping, though, I can be on tonight so that I can do a little bit of streaming. But if not, Saints Panthers is coming to you real soon. Guys, I love you. Appreciate you. Happy Easter. We'll see you on the other side, okay?
Smash that like and subscribe.